Well, Zombie Girl, Polt is certainly known as the comeback king, and that was precisely what he did in that last game. If Habitation Station, though, didn't lend itself to a nice long macro game, Ultra Team Stronghold certainly will. This is, of course, game number 2, guys, in the best of 5 finals for the winner's bracket. The winner of this qualifies, gets a fully paid for trip, gets to compete in IEM Cologne, and of course gets the knowledge he's the best. But, of course, there's still a loser's bracket to fall down on, so neither of these players are done with their day after this series. Well, one will be, I should say, but no one's completely out after this series is what I should say. Without further ado, though, spawning in the lower left corner of the map, he is the Purple Terran, he is QXC!
And in the lower right, as the Teal Terran, it is CM Storm's Polt.
Yeah. Now, a quick PSA to our Twitch chat, guys. We have one rule on Base Trade TV. I would like that you guys scroll down and check it out. Some of you are getting a little bit rowdy there in chat, and I don't want our mods to go all like super crazy on you. So just take a quick scroll down and give it a look-see. But yeah, Zombie Grub and I have been having a lot of fun today. It's been a lot of games, and there's still some more to come yet. But if you guys have feedback about our casting, if you'd like to see us improve, you may absolutely do so. We just ask that you do it in a constructive way so that we can interpret it instead of ignore it, I guess. But at any rate, Ultra Team Stronghold, it's a map with a very, very secure natural base. That doesn't necessarily mean you play greedy, not TVT at least. Maybe TVZ or TVP, but we do see both players playing this out pretty normal as far as openings go. In fact, Reaper coming out of Polt in a moment's time.
These positions seem to favor Polt's more, I would say. That natural just looks so tempting to drop for Polt, and that could come into effect, especially if he does that Hellion drop again. It's I mean, yeah, there's like you'd have to cover so many different places to actually stop that from killing your mineral line. That is if QXC gets any type of early command center, though, and generally you don't in a TVT, especially when you know that Polt's pretty aggressive. He's not the one who's going to go for the command center.
I wonder if QXC is going to try and pull off mech again. Is going to be a big question. He obviously was very comfortable with it. I don't think he made any really wrong moves that game, per se. I mean, there's a couple bad engagements, don't get me wrong. But his control with his mech army was good. He was responsive, he was aggressive. He was this really nice balance of, like, not letting Polt run over him. Until, of course, eventually it became so lopsided that he couldn't recover. But I would, honest to God, like to see QXC play mech out again.
Well, he does go for that earlier command center, but luckily Polt is not going for anything drop-oriented. In fact, he's going for 2 Rax Reaper. Ooh. Interesting choice in this map. I mean, there is a lot of jump-ups, but
you know what, that's the thing. Like, people in chat kind of joking around saying, like, incoming 3-hour game, but that's maybe what Polt's reading into. If QXC's expecting a long game, the last thing he's going to expect is 2X Reaper. And with the factory so heavily delayed, yeah, he's got the reactor on the barracks, but it's not going to be easy to hold this off. 2 Reapers, sure. But once 4 start coming out, 5 start coming out, these Marines are going to find themselves a little bit less capable.
Looks like he's going to stop at 4, then goes into Marines. Blocks off the Scout, although QXC, I mean, you know what it is. You got 2 Reapers in your base, right? So Command Center is going to go down for Polt. Not taking advantage of the fact that that natural of QXC is so close to his own base, but it probably will come into effect later. QXC going up to that starport might do his own Hellion drop, and it will be scouted immediately by the Reapers. There are only so many Marines. SCDs will have to be pulled to help out. So the Hellion arrives just in time. In fact, the Reapers might be stuck. Oh, they take out the Hellion instead. Revenge. Or
well, he loses a Reaper, though, and that's the problem with Reapers. Like, they're good units. We're seeing them come into full effect right now, but the problem is they snowball just as easily as they crumble, I guess, is the best way to describe that. Like, you really, as soon as you lose one, the pushing power is killed, like, so hardcore.
So those will not probably be used for anything more than scouting. They could try and get a few more Marines, but they're not going to get any SCV kills. And both players now have their expansion up and ready to go, all going up to starport as well. No one is going for that later Banshee as of yet. QXC is going for the Medevac right now and the Hellions, so he's looking to drop.
Well, Reapers do get back towards the main while we're looking over at Polt's base. Unfortunately, over here in the natural, there's nowhere for them to really jump out of the base from, so may have just fought himself into a very unfortunate corner, runs into the Marines, and loses the Reapers. So, Polt's aggression is on hold for now.
Yeah, what else are we really going to do with the Reapers, though, so probably... Yeah. Probably okay.
The problem is past 10 minutes of the game, there's like no place for a Reaper aside from scouting, and even then, like, it's kind of like,
drop is on the way from QXC. It is going directly into Polt's main. There are submarines right there, as well as a single Marauder.
He's got the Hellions here too. There's going to be a little nice extra bit of damage, but also more importantly, if you want to, you could elevate all these units up the ramp. But probably just going to take out the supply depot for now, knowing that Polt cannot engage into this, not with the Marines and the Hellions nearby. Marauder's going to poke into this a little bit. Has to make sure he actually kills that supply depot. Loses the Hellion for it, unfortunately, but...
This is exactly what Polt did, just a base later, you know? So Polt getting that one Marauder is pretty smart. Getting a second Marauder, he might expect QXC to just be, you know, blind guessing that he's going to go for mech with the amount of Marauders that he's getting, but it is going to be so useful against the Hellions. That's tanked out. That just about does it for QXC in the front. That supply depot should be repaired. Should be.
Is it going to burn down? Okay, there we go. Starts spraying. Looks towards the drop towards the natural base. Polt can probably just pull to really avoid damage here, though. I mean, should be somewhat minimal. But Hellions are going to get a couple of kills off. Polt's not paying attention here initially. Loses a little bit more than he needed to. Yeah, really nice drop from QXC, actually. It's a small thing, but a decent thing. No counterattacks going on. QXC's base is safe in the natural. He's got Hellions coming out. He got that Raven quickly in case Polt had gone for a Banshee, but... of course, we know that's not what the case was.
And Polt, of course, he'll be going into that bio compared to QXC's mech. It's going to be not exactly like last game, but similar to last game. I wonder the positions. You know, we don't see this map that often, right? And you know, TVT mech versus bio is a lot less often.
He's still getting kills with these Hellions. They're all so low, they're finally gonna die, but. Polt, again, caught perhaps a little off guard by this.
Yeah. 8 SCVs so far have gone down. We do have a drop of Polt's own in the natural of QXC, though. It gets there pretty fast, but QXC with Hellions also defends pretty well. It was some cute micro that I guess Polt was trying to do. Not really working out, though. Does lose about half of the medevac.
Yeah. Well, rightfully defended of both players. They've kind of shown their aggression. It's like... I don't know, a nature channel. The males from each species show a little bit of aggression, like, before dialing back to their mates at home. But, as we see, they're both just trying to move on forward. QXC looks like he has opted to go for mech once again, guys, so we didn't bring attention to this fact because we're busy watching the drops, but, you know, Blue Flame is on the way. He's got a lot of Hellions. One thing that's really great about this map is, like, while there are... Whoa, hold up. He's got some pretty good micro going on over here. Lifting the Marines to keep them, to beat out that Marauder. Gonna get a couple more SCVs here. Man, QXC getting so much out of this drop that should have been just completely cleaned up forever ago. Anyways, talk about the bases again real quick. Yes, there's 5 bases per corner of the map, and there's 20 bases on the map, but they're all pretty spread out. It's not the easiest thing to defend against, and Blue Flame Hellions can sneak right behind enemy lines very easily.
By the way, Illusion has taken out Betrayus. I'm getting my sources, my facts from the source himself, so...
That sucks.
You can trust me, guys.
Well,
yeah,
it's
it
good
was
for
a 2-0, so yeah, Illusion's showing some really good form, and he could be going on into whoever wins versus Subby versus Huck. That's who he plays next, and then whoever wins that actually advances.
Suppy versus Huck. Huck did, of course, beat Suppy just barely in the Homestar Cup qualifiers last time they squared off, so no idea how to call that series because it wasn't one-sided. Could very well be Suppy or could very well be Huck. Of course, you guys can type ! brackets in chat if you want a link to the brackets to keep an eye on what's going on, to see what we're referring to and how we're talking about things. But alright, Polt's a whole base up over QXC right now. Not just in actual building, but actually mining off of it too. Taking those losses did not take their toll on Polt's, as he has caught up quite nicely. Blue Flame's been revealed, and QXC is very blatantly playing mech at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Polt is going to try and do a little... I mean, not really a contain, but he's going to shell away at the command center.
This should force a liftoff. I don't know if QXC can really hold on to this. A couple Seeker missiles will take out one of the tanks. If these Hellions get right on top of the other two, though, get into that dead zone, take out the Marines, all of a sudden Polt's tanks are in a lot of trouble. And looks like those Vikings will push off the medevac and then just land afterwards. But instead, land first. Okay, whatever, they get the tank in the end. Same end goal, I guess.
That's what matters, I guess. I mean, maybe you don't want to unseat your tanks in case there is a gigantic army of Polt behind it, right? So, and there wasn't really one. There was an army, but not too big. A single Viking from Polt is actually stopping any drops, although are the drops really going to come from over there? I don't know.
Well, you know, you'd think that would be the case because he's not going to beeline through the main base and take a giant, like, north turn, right? Like, trying to sneak around would be the anticipated course, and I think that's why he's looking at it. Again, I can't get over, like, these countdown timers are so fantastic.
Ooh. Hey, SCV, where you going?
Ninja base, maybe?
Yeah, I wonder if he's either checking for a ninja base or going for his own ninja base.
I wouldn't be surprised, again, a big map like this, there's not a lot of scouting information that's going to be going on in the corners of the maps.
Oh, he's going right there. He's stopping. He is going to be building a secrets command center, and that, you're right, it probably won't be scouted for a very, very long time. Although, I mean, just sending one Marine out, as Polt is doing, is going to scout it, and that's the best thing you can do on 4-player maps. Like, seriously, anytime. Doesn't cost that much and saves you a lot of headache.
A couple Hellions trying to get through here, but of course the SCVs were pulled quite nicely. Speaking of ninja bases, I know I don't play anywhere near the caliber of these guys, but like one of the 2 times I was streaming my games, I was playing on Ultra Zoom TVT. I took a command center up here in the ninja base. But what I didn't realize is my opponent had taken it at the natural too, so we had 2 like planetary fortresses at the same. Yeah, it was. Wow. It was so dumb. But of course, that's the problem with this big base. We do see Polt checking around for precisely ninja bases, so wants to make sure QXC is not going to get ahead in any way. Helmet drops are going to go up from above as predicted, but they may also find this newly found base over here and can try to start picking away at it.
There was 2 drops, I believe. Yeah, the drop in the bottom was deflected easily by... Actually, it shouldn't have been. I guess it ran into this person and ran away, but the other one does find the 4th base, finds the Viking as well, boosts into the natural. There's no turrets there. They will get on top of the SCVs, but the SCVs are pulled. I was like, you got to know what's coming, man.
Polt responds with his own drop. Kind of a cool thing to see. Might lose a couple SCVs through splash collateral damage, but still nothing too crazy. QXC though has got, while Polt's got Marines scattered, he's got Hellbats scattered. Like, they're just one of these definitively wins against the other.
Has he not scouted that SCV? The Marine is right there, man. I guess it's not on like attack move, so it's not going to kill the SCV. So if QXC sees this and takes the command center, that'd be hilarious. Oh, it's on patrol. Never mind.
Yeah, it's just looking for buildings. Like Polt doesn't see a big purple dot up there, right? It's just the SCV. Still trying to make sure QXC's not taking these extra bases, but of course there was that 4th base established towards the north. This Marauder hit squad though might be a little too much. QXC absolutely needs to lift this.
And you can lift it. There's so many Marauders. Like the Marines aren't going to take that down anytime soon. Kind of the benefit of playing mech, I guess. Don't have to worry about
this
Marines.
Is kind of a cool move. QXC's thinking, you know what? If I know majority of your army's over in my 4th, I can push towards your main. You're probably not going to have a lot there. And that's not necessarily the case. There's a lot of tanks. There's even a Thor siege, ready to siege up, I guess. I don't think QXC's going to break Polt anytime soon, but having left that drop unattended, there's some tanks here, sure, and a couple Hellbats, but not a lot of anti-air. Polt could lift up and perhaps drop into the natural base. I mean, there's a couple turrets, but that's a couple of turrets. Meanwhile, big fight looks like it's getting forced out over here on the 3rd base of Polt. QXC's got that air advantage, but how long will it last?
The sandwich is coming in. I think QXC thought there was less army than there was, and that's why Polt was retreating so fast. But in fact, Polt could set up a sick pincer attack, although he is stopping right now. Viking Cat's gonna go in favor of Polt, and in fact that Banshee comes out and takes care of the tanks for him.
Yeah, he's gonna lose a lot of these tanks, even on the retreat. Of course, he can't fully retreat. Stimpack units are a little bit too quick. Vikings, I'm glad that he's not landing them. They're not, like, if these tanks were like barely gonna get away, land the Vikings. But because he's gonna clean this up relatively easily, lets the Banshee just go to work. Meanwhile, that 4th base from QXC is finally re-landed, making a planetary fortress out of it.
It's still relatively even. Like, usually when a mech player loses a big chunk of its army, they're like down by 20 supply, but in fact QXC is still
matching Polt's.
Yeah, matching Polt, exactly. This is looking to go on quite long.
Well, 3-3 is on the way here. Well, QXC's upgrades are a little bit lacking. That's one thing worth noting too.
He did get double armories, but he's not using them. It's a little unfortunate.
I found that ninja base going down. That Marine, please tell me it scouted that. It didn't scout that!
We could use some help.
The Marine in the top left did not scout the command center.
It will. It will. It's on patrol. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Well, Marauders and Marines going to push into the 4th base once again, but the planetary is up this time. A couple tanks going to respond, and QXC will not let this go unattended this time. Problem is, as we see, Marauders may be a little bit too much to deal with, and with these medevacs up, can't just retreat out of here.
That was a nice pick off. Of course, QXC has another one. Oh, there was a huge drop in the natural. Never mind. Absolutely huge. They get past the turrets, or maybe the turrets were finished, I'm not sure. And they take out a huge chunk of QXC's SCV line.
This is what I was talking about earlier, though. There's only a couple of turrets here to begin with. Like, This is why I wanted that drop to go up, but of course Polt had no knowledge of this. Still running for his life on the northern part of the map. Looks like he's going to lose some more units to these Hellbats, but should be able to eventually clean this up. But that drop in the natural still has not been fully dealt with. Some Hellbats are here, and Polt's going to try and take a supply depot out. And, wow, he's actually going to pick up. Nope. Okay, Scumbag Medvac, see you later.
Attack still happening in the northern side. It breaks down a lot of, I guess those are
Zombie
tanks.
drop. How do we miss this? Battle cruisers are about to come out in just a second's time.
I was going to mention that before the drop, but yeah, so battle cruisers again for Polt. He did take the air advantage with that initial attack, although QXC has been mindful of replenishing his own. That might not go so well. Actually, where did his Vikings go? Oh, he's on a 2. He must have used them in engaging.
The Marines up here, when we were looking at that drop earlier, picked a couple.
Yeah, duh, that's actually really bad. So Polt even has further reason to go ahead and go for those battle cruisers.
What?
This could be absolutely deadly.
If QXC sees this coming, like he doesn't know about the battle cruisers yet. He's not scouted this. He has no idea it's 2 starports, much less 1. Widow mines are a great way of dealing with this. Not that it's the easiest thing to get widow mines underneath the battle cruisers, but battle cruisers are so slow, you can't run away from the widow mines. You're forced to take those hits. Not that that's, of course, the preferable solution, but I'm just saying, like, in a desperate scenario like this, where it's going to be surprise battle cruisers, widow mines are going to be a lot easier for QXC to produce than, say, 14 Vikings at a time.
It's actually quite effective. You know, it sounds funny, you don't see it that often, but if they get underneath the battle cruisers actually die super, super easy. Drop in the main again. I was talking about the positions being better because of this, and I think it's coming true. Yeah. Just dropping into the main and natural is so easy for Polt.
Oh god, last couple Vikings are so low. If Polt takes both of them out, QXC now has, well, a couple of Ravens and a couple of Vikings. Those Ravens are about to go down here too in the north. Polt's multitasking is just a little too much for our necking Terran to keep up with, it feels. But lucky, guys, it's a best of 5, and no matter how one-sided this seems right now, there's still more games to come after this. These guys are not done yet. This is only game number 2.
Yep. Oh, that is weird to think of. It is only game number 2.
No complaints from me. No complaints at all. These guys have put on a fantastic show, and of course we got the losers bracket to venture on through. We will of course be following one of these 2 later on, guys, so it's not the last you'll see of both of them, but we're perhaps talking a little bit too grimacingly. We're a little ahead of ourselves. Still going on right now. Army supply for QXC is not massively far behind, but the danger is, what anti-air does he have? A lot of this is invested in Hellions and Hellbats trying to run around the map, scoot around, and try and catch Polt off guard. Tanks at home are going to be sieged, but there's not even enough turrets to drive this back.
He still has no idea about it. He is just now going to find out about the battle cruisers. They're not even actually... Oh, they're being, like, hidden even further? Like, oh, they're trailing behind.
Sneaky. Alright, well, Hellion's going to try and get a clear out over here. They, of course, they do have transformation servos, but still takes out the Marines first. Marauder may go down afterwards, but now the battlecruiser's pushing forward, and 4 Yamato cannons going off at once. All 4 of these Vikings and those Ravens are going to get annihilated with almost no anti-air left. Polt can just push on in here. There's a couple of turrets. There's a Thor coming out, but a Thor even transformed is not the best form of anti-air. Tank is going to go down here as well, and Marines stemming forward will clean up that Thor. This is looking to be about it, guys. QXC's production cannot match this. He can take out the ground forces at best. Good game! Zombie Grub, good game!